So in this session, we'll be working on two concepts, that is separating the signal and the DC quantities. Okay, and one more, it is hybrid pi model. Okay, so this is the last two concepts related to your module one. Last two concepts related to your module one, section B. Okay, the small signal operation and models. Small signal operation and models. Okay, so let me just revisit what all we have discussed yesterday in quick time, because some good amount of expressions we were able to drive it. Okay, to start up with, we have started the first concept, that is the collector current, the collector current and the transconductance and the transconductance. So this is a one more important topic from examination perspective as well as from the knowledge perspective. So here we were able to derive an equation for our GM, where we call GM as a transconductance. So this GM is been defined as a ratio of IC divided by VT, where VT is called as thermal voltage. So don't feel it's a equivalent Thevenin voltage. So this VT is said to be as thermal voltage. VT is said to be as thermal voltage. Unless and until specified, we will take this value as 26 millivolts. So this is a constant. So this people should remember, VT value will be taken as 26 millivolts. So whenever you are solving numericals, so this you have to assume it as 26 millivolts unless and until specified in the numerical. Okay, so it was the one important equation that we were able to uh, uh, define it, right? Then after this equation, we derived one more equation, wherein it was an equation uh, wherein it was defining the relation for a base current and the input resistance. Base current and input resistance. The second one, it's an equation for the base current and input resistance. Base current and input resistance. Wherein over here we were able to define what is the uh, resistance, something called as R pi, wherein this R pi was being defined as a ratio of VT divided by IB, wherein this R pi is called as VT divided by IB. This R pi, which is called as a base emitter resistance, R pi, which is called as base emitter resistance, this is also called as input resistance. It's also called as input resistance. And the alias name for this is also a diffusion resistance. Diffusion resistance. So this is how I can call my R pi. R pi is defined as VT by IB, which is called as the base emitter resistance, input resistance, or even a diffusion resistance. Right? Then after discussing this equation, we are able to derive one more equation wherein it's an emitter current and input resistance. The third derivation, that is emitter current, emitter current and input resistance, and input resistance. Sorry, emitter current and input resistance. So in the case of this emitter current and input resistance, so we were able to derive an equation for RE actually, wherein our RE was being defined as, its emitter resistance was being defined as RE is equals to R pi divided by 1 plus beta, wherein we were just writing this equation once again as R pi is equals to 1 plus beta, 1 plus beta into Re. So either you can use this form of equation or this form of equation. So both means the same. So this is defined in terms of Re, it's defined for R pi. Okay, and we were able to list the equations wherein we were able to define it in one particular list. What's the equation for GM? What's the equation for R pi? What's the equation for Re? And at the last, we were able to derive equation for the voltage gain. Okay, wherein the equation for the voltage gain, the equation for voltage gain was found to be as AV is equals to AV is equals to the voltage gain is equals to, normally the voltage gain is defined as output voltage by input voltage. So wherein its output voltage is VCE divided by the input voltage VBE, wherein this can be defined as minus GM into RC, minus GM into RC. Or in another form, we were able to write this AV is equals to minus ICRC divided by the VT, divided by Vt. So these are the two alias forms that you people should remember. A V can be defined as minus Gm into Rc. That is, when you know the value of Gm, you can use this equation. But if you know the circuit parameters, then you should be able to use the equation for voltage gain as minus ICRC divided by the Vt. Okay, so we'll solve some numericals on these equations in order to get some good confidence on the circuit. Okay, so now what is that? This is that I would like to say over here is that uh, when you people have gone through yesterday's interaction, okay, when you people have gone through the yesterday's interaction, you can easily understand that my circuit, my circuit is having two signals, one a DC signal, one more an AC signal, one DC signal, one more an AC signal. Now, what is that I need to understand over here is, what is that I need to understand over here is, any parameter if if I consider, let me say my base current. So yesterday itself we have interacted saying that the capital term is being used for DC parameters and the small parameters are being used for AC parameters. Okay, now I will write few terms. Okay, you should be able to say me whether it is AC or it is DC or it is combination of AC and DC. Okay, so if I write the term something such as, wherein I'm able to write this as V V E. So what term is this indicating? What term is this indicating? Answer in the group chat. It's a DC. Good. Now if I write this as VBE, what term it is indicating? It is indicating an AC term. Now if I write this something like this, VBE, now what does this indicating? Yes. Now I'm not getting any answers. What does this representation indicating? It is indicating combination of both. That is an AC parameter and a DC parameter. Understanding? So when there is a combination, what is your observation? Your observation is that the AC parameter is being denoted by small letter and DC parameter is denoted by capital. And DC parameter is always a subscript and your AC parameter is a real parameter. I hope you're able to understand this, because on my all four expressions you will get this term. Wherein you will write a equation VBE is equals to VBE plus VBE. And you should not say that, sir, how come, sir? What is the equation you are writing? That VBE plus VBE is equals to VBE. So alphabetically, each term is talking about VBE, but electronically, each term is having some different meaning. This VBE is standing for pure DC. This VB is standing for pure AC. This VB is talking a combination of DC and AC. So it's what we call superposition. Superposition of AC signal on DC signal. Understanding? Is it clear to you? So this resonance is required when you want to understand the expressions what we have done yesterday. If this resonance is there, then you will not face much problem. Okay. So in yesterday's analysis or from yesterday's analysis, you can easily infer that any parameter if I include, may not be only VB. Even if I write the equation for IB, I can write this as IB plus IB. Similarly, if I want to write the equation for IC, this can be written as IC plus IC. Understanding? So it means any parameter, maybe VB, IB, IC, so on and so forth in your transistor analysis. Each parameter can be composed of a DC quantity and an AC quantity. Now, what is that we're going to do now over here is that we would like to separate the DC parameters from the AC parameters for our transistor analysis. Okay, so now we would like to discuss our fifth topic, that is separation of DC and AC parameters. Separation of DC and AC parameters. Okay, so now what I will do here is I will first consider my transistor working as an amplifier. So I know that if at all if my transistor has to operate as an amplifier, my transistor has to operate in an active mode. So when I say that my transistor has to operate in an active mode, it simply means my junction J1, which is my base emitter junction, it has to be forward biased. My junction J2, which is an collector base junction, so this has to be reverse biased. So if I'm able to do this, then my transistor, it will operate in an active mode. So now, in order to operate my transistor as in an active mode, so let me have my transistor first here, an NPN transistor. Okay, then I would like to see to that it has been biased properly. So this is my collector terminal, the emitter terminal, and the base terminal. So now I'll be providing the voltage to this particular terminal, the positive, negative. So this is my DC biasing voltage. So I will write this as VBE. Then next I need to bias the reverse bias the collector to emitter terminal. So to reverse bias this collector to emitter terminal, I'll be using VCC via RC. So this is my RC and this is positive VCC. And the emitter, it will be grounded. So this is my emitter terminal. So this will be grounded. Okay, emitter terminal will be grounded. Okay, is it clear? So I can simply say over here, this is my positive, this is my negative. So this is my DC circuit. It's a pure DC circuit. So I don't have any AC component. So if you see, it's a capital VB, the voltage drop that occurs between collector and emitter, positive to negative, it is VCE. Okay, and I can get what's the output voltage from this terminal. So here I can get my V out, and the value of the current that flows to this base, I can define this as IB, a base current, and the current that flows through this is nothing but my IC, and the current that comes to the ground is nothing but my IE. So in this circuit, I can see only my DC quantities. Now, I can give a superposition of my AC quantities in the circuit the moment I add the AC signal to the circuit. So let me say that if I add an AC signal to the circuit over here. So if I add an AC signal to the circuit, so when I represent this as positive, negative, this as a small VBE. I represent this as a small VBE. So when I represent this, then this is no more a DC quantity. It is no more a DC quantity. I will be having a current. So because of this source, I'll be having the base current, which I'll be representing as I capital V. And the current that going to flow to my output is no more a DC quantity now. So this will be an I with capital C. Now the current that comes to the emitter, it will be an I with capital E. So it means now my circuit is having a combination of both DC as well as AC parameter, right? In yesterday's interaction, we are able to derive an equation for what is our IV, what is our IC, what is our IE, okay? And we are able to find out what is the base resistance, collector resistance, emitter resistance, etc. So we have initially made only DC analysis. Now this is DC and AC. And now, if at all, if I want to draw a circuit for a pure AC, it means what I should do over here. So whenever I say that I want to make analysis for a pure AC circuit, then in that case, I need to short circuit my DC sources. I have to short circuit my DC sources. So when I say that I want to short circuit my DC sources, it means all the DC sources from the circuit has to be eliminated. So what is the circuit? How will the circuit be seen? How will the circuit is going to be seen? So let me say that if this is my transistor, okay, this is my transistor, okay, wherein this is the base, the collector, and the emitter. Okay, now I'll be having my signal between the base and emitter, input signal, which is a pure AC signal. So this is positive, this is negative, this is VBE. Okay, emitter it has been grounded. Then next comes a resistance via which I'll be having the ground. So remember, this is an AC circuit. This is an AC circuit. All DC quantities, whatever they are there, they are short circuited. So you don't get your VB here, nor you will get your VCC here. So this also has to be short circuited. So it means it has to come to the ground. It has to come to the ground. There is no source. So this terminal is connected to ground. So this is your ground. Understanding? So this is your VBE. This is your RC. Okay. Now, since you know that these are my three terminals of my transistor, the base, collector, and emitter, the current that flows through this base terminal, you call this as IB. You need to understand you are having only AC quantity, so you should be able to write this as a small IB, which is being given by VBE divided by R pi. VBE divided by R pi. This is what we were able to derive it yesterday, where R pi was equals to VB by IB. I hope you are able to remember it, right? Similarly, I know that the current that is going to flow through this resistance terminal, that current is nothing but my IC. And we know that how I'm going to write an equation for IC. My equation for IC is being defined as IC is equals to GM into VBE or VBE. GM into VBE. Understanding? Then this voltage that I'm going to see across collector and emitter, this is also VCE. You can see none of the terms are the capital in nature. All the terms they are represented with small sign or smaller alphabets. And this is my emitter current IE, where this emitter current IE is being defined as VBE divided by RE. VE divided by RE. It means, so here I am just using an equations wherein we are able to consider only the AC parameters or AC, I can say the parameters of the circuit. Understanding? So it means when I want to make an AC analysis, so at that time all the DC quantities I'm going to short circuit it, and these are my AC parameters. But whenever I want to have both AC DC, it means I will be having a circuit like this, wherein it's a combination of both DC as well as AC parameters. Understand? So in reality, this is how this circuit will be there. This is how the circuit will be there. But since whenever I'm having both DC and AC at a time, analysis cannot be performed. So I should know the method how I'm going to make two analysis individually. Then I'm going to add its effect. That's the reason right from beginning I'm saying that I'm superpositioning the AC signal over a DC signal. So it's a superimposition of your AC signal onto a DC signal. So, so first I should be able to make a DC analysis, set my Q point, operating point, and then I should be able to make my AC analysis. Is it clear to you? Yes? Is the topic clear to you? So, what is the thing that you people should remember? So, if at all if you want to convert a given circuit from your DC circuit to AC circuit, what's the change you're going to do? In simple. If at all if you want to convert an a DC circuit into an AC circuit, what's the change you'll be doing into the circuit? Any change you'll be doing if you want to convert a DC circuit into an AC circuit? Yes, please answer in the group chat. Good, good Pooja. So we have to short circuit the DC components, or you have to short circuit the DC sources, right? Good. Okay. So now what we'll do, we will start working on our hybrid pi model. Okay, it's a very interesting topic, a hybrid pi model. Now we'll go for the last topic, hybrid pi model. Hybrid pi model. Okay, it's a very important topic. Okay, so now directly, to be frankly speaking, we should be able to first draw a transistor. So how I do feel the approach has to be there is that you people first should have a symbolic representation of a transistor, wherein this is your base, the collector, and emitter. So this you should be able to define it into an equivalent circuit. I will do it at the later stage. Okay, so you should be able to define it into its equivalent circuit. Then you should be able to model it as a pi model. But as referred to your circuit or the book that we have to refer from examination perspective, that is nothing but Segra Smith. So directly he is having a transistor which is being represented as a pi model. So this step is been missing somewhere. Okay. So what we'll do is this approach we will follow it after building this technique, because I don't want you people to get confused from examination perspective. So from examination perspective, what is required? So first we'll discuss that. But how you are getting this model, so that should be a question in your mind. And to solve that question, this approach has to be followed. This approach has to be followed. Okay. So now we'll build the pi model of our transistor. Okay. So wherein, as yesterday we were able to speak that our BJT, we have seen it in various expressions, that our BJT can be realized as a voltage controlled current source. It can be realized as voltage controlled current source. a voltage controlled current source, that is VCCS, voltage controlled current source. Okay, so this term you should remember, as I said yesterday. Okay, so now we'll build this circuit based upon all the interactions and expressions that we were able to derive it yesterday. So our transistor, which is being symbolically represented like this, three terminals, base, collector, and emitter. This I can define it in the I model, a simplified I model, like this, wherein my emitter has to be a common, because it's a common emitter configuration. So now we know that this we were able to model it somewhat like this, wherein we were having the input resistance. Okay, so this we called the input resistance as R phi. Okay, and this was my emitter terminal. So this is my base terminal. This is my emitter terminal. And I was having the resistance between collector to emitter, so that I was able to represent in terms of a source about like this, wherein a current is going to flow, wherein it is found to be an amplified version, a GM into VBE, GM into VBE. Sorry, this has to be capital. GM into VBE, where this VBE is nothing but the voltage drop seen across this resistance. The voltage drop which is seen across this resistance. Okay, and this is my collector terminal. See, understanding? Is it clear to you? So this is, I can say it as simplified hybrid pi model. So this is a simplified hybrid pi model. A simplified hybrid pi model. Okay. So in this, what is that you people need to know over here is this is my base current IB. This is my base current IB. It's going to flow like this. Okay. And my emitter current will flow through the emitter terminal, and that terminal current will be having IC like this. Okay, so now we should be able to define. I hope you people remember the equations that we have defined it for the base emitter, collector to emitter, how we are able to model it. Right, that's the reason I said you that whatever we were discussing yesterday, we will be using it to some extent when we are developing the model. Okay, so now looking onto this circuit, wherein this circuit represents the BJT, it represents an BJT, a bipolar junction transistor, as a voltage controlled current source, and explicitly it includes an input resistance. Implicitly, it includes an input resistance. So now, if at all, if I start working on my equations, then I can write it somehow like this, saying that I know what is my IC. I know what is my IC. So what is my IC over here? If I see this circuit, this IC is going to flow into this branch. And I've said that the value of this is found to be GM times that of VBE, where GM is a transconductance and VBE is a voltage drop across base to emitter, which is being seen across the resistance R pi. Okay, then I can simply write the equation for IC as IC is equals to GM into VBE. I can write this IC as GM into VBE. I can write this IC as GM into VBE. And I also know that what is my IB? I also know that what is my IB? What is my IB? It's nothing but the base current which is going to flow through the base terminal. Then how I can write the equation for I? A simple Ohm's law. V is equals to I into R. What is I? V by R. So what is V by R over here? So it is a voltage drop across this resistance, which is nothing but VBE divided by the resistance offered by the resistor is nothing but R pi. Is nothing but R pi. So it means I got an equation for IC, I got an equation for IB. From the first fundamentals, okay, I can write it saying that the emitter current, this current, the emitter current should be equal to, the emitter current should be equal to your base current plus the current flowing through the collector terminal. So it means I can write the equation for IE as IB plus IC. I know the equation for IB, I know the equation for IC. So I need to just substitute this. So if you want for simplification, I'll call this equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. So over here, I will just substituting equation 1 and 2 in equation 3. So by which I'll be able to get the equation for IB as VBE divided by R pi plus, what's the equation for IC? The equation for IC is GM into VBE. GM into VBE. So if you see, VB is there in both the terms. So what I will do over here is I will take my VBE common outside. That is VBE by R pi itself. I take it common outside. So if I take VBE by R pi common outside, what is that which will be left out? So VB by R pi is taken common outside. So this is 1 plus. Now what is left out over here? So VB is there. So VB have taken it outside. But R pi is not over here, right? So since R pi is not over here, I should write this equation as GM into R pi, because I have taken R pi common outside, wherein R pi is there in the denominator. Because once again, when I multiply this term over here, I should be able to get back this equation. I hope you remember the fundamentals of mathematics, right? So if I take this term inside, what happens? VB by R pi, VB by R pi, matching. If I take this term inside, what happens? VBE into GM, R pi get cancelled, giving out GM into VBE. Understanding? Is it clear to you? Okay. So it means now once if I get this equation, that is VB by R pi. Now how I can write this? How I can write this? So for a reference, I'll write that step here itself because I want this equation. So I can write this as VBE by R pi into 1 plus, what is this? GM into R pi. Yes, please answer in the group chat. What is this GM into R pi? You people should work out on the classes after the sessions, without which you will never remember the equations. Okay, for your kind information, I can just say that my R pi can be defined as beta times that of G1, that's beta by GM. So it means I can write this GM into R pi as beta. I can write this as a beta. So I can write this R pi into GM as beta. Then once if I'm able to write this equation as IE is equals to VBE by R pi into 1 plus beta. Now I know that what is this term, that is VB by R pi. I'll just write it over here. So for your reference, I just rewrite this equation. So my IE, I'm able to get an equation as VBE divided by R pi into 1 plus beta. Okay, so that you will get a proper reference whenever I'm working with the equation. Okay, so I is equals to VB by R pi into 1 plus beta. Now next I want to write this equation for IE. I want to write this equation for IE. Then how I can write the equation for IE now? Yes, How I can write the equation for IE? So I know that I'll be using one more fundamental, wherein, as discussed, I can write my emitter resistance fundamental. I can write my emitter resistance as R pi divided by 1 plus beta. I hope you remember this. R is defined as R pi divided by 1 plus beta. So now I'm having the same thing in reverse manner. R pi divided by 1 plus beta. Over here, I'm having 1 plus beta by R pi. It means IE can be defined as VBE divided by RE. RE is defined as VBE divided by RE. So this means this is how I'm able to see that. This is how I'm able to see my hybrid I model, wherein I'm able to get my emitter current IE as VBE divided by RE. So it's in terms of RE parameters. So it's in terms of RE parameters. Understanding? Is it clear? So this is what we have to get an equation for IE. This is how we are able to model it in terms of an hybrid. That's a simplified hybrid I model, wherein we are modeling it as a voltage controlled current source. So it means, as the name suggests, so depending upon the voltage drop across this resistance, the value of IC will be defined. Hence, it is called as a voltage controlled current source. Okay, is it clear? Yes. Is the topic clear to you people?